What's up, guys? I'm Chris Spags here, back with another Four Corners for today's 8-game NBA main slate, courtesy of Osmo.com and presented by Super Draft. It's been a nice week for us here on the Four Corners, and we've got one more day to close it out with our biggest slate of the week. So let's get some power of positivity in the air, and right now, please hit that like button. If you want to win a free month of Osmo Plus, like the video and comment your top value play according to Draftkings salaries down below. I do have a winner to announce from yesterday's video, and I'll talk about that later on. But right now, if you want to join them at the Osmo Plus pay window, like the video and comment your top value play down below. And now you know the drill. We've got no time to waste here in the Four Corners, so let's get right to it, starting with the top owned plays in Draymond Green in a matchup versus Boston, which there are 108.8 implied points for Golden State. Draymond will have 44% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he has 31% on FanDuel. Draymond has been great this year with his last 4 active games under 29 fantasy points, but his price is low enough to take a look at, with Boston particularly poor at rebounding, with 49 rebounds allowed per game. In a recent bust, we'll have ownership again as Corey Joseph in a matchup at the Lakers, in which there are 101.8 implied points for Sacramento. Joseph has 24% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he has 36% on FanDuel. Joseph has been priced up after his chalk dud with 18 fantasy points in 38 minutes versus Portland, and now he faces a low-paced Lakers team with a strong 97 defensive efficiency rating, so this is tough chalk for me to swallow. And there'll be some ownership going to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in a matchup versus Philadelphia, in which there are 105.8 implied points for Oklahoma City. Shai will have 30% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he has 11% on FanDuel due to his higher price on that site. Shai's price is down shockingly low on Draftkings after some dud games and a tough Philly defense across from him, but it's a pace-up spot, and Shai's maintained a 25% usage rate with some boards and assists as well. And for our next corner, let's talk about the top value plays, starting with Enes Kanter in a matchup at Golden State, in which there are 116.8 implied points for Boston. Kanter saw 25 minutes last time with Daniel Tice and Robert Williams out. While either back would be a risk, Kanter could crush on the boards in a pace-up spot, going against Golden State's weak interior. And next up is Tyson Chandler versus Indiana in a game in which there are 115.5 implied points for Houston. Clint Capella is out, and because of Indiana's size, we could see more run for Chandler with a solid 19% rebound rate that isn't far off the 21% rate Capella has shown massive upside with. And this guy looks like decent value if Jeff Teague isn't starting Jarrett Culver in a matchup versus Washington, in which there are 123.5 implied points for Minnesota. Culver's likely only seriously playable if Jeff Teague continues to come off the bench, but he's at a reasonable price in a high-paced spot with a massive combined total, so Culver could be worth a dice roll or two. For our next corner, I want to talk about some of the underpriced bigs on today's slate, starting with Andre Drummond in a matchup at Charlotte, in which there are 111 implied points for Detroit. Drummond has struggled with foul issues his last few games, which have limited his minutes, but even with Blake Griffin's 34% usage rate back in the lineup, Drummond has a big ceiling against Charlotte's extremely iffy interior. Another guy who still seems too cheap is Karl-Anthony Towns in a match versus Washington, which there are 123.5 implied points for Minnesota. Towns would benefit if Jeff Teague started with better per minutes results with him on the court, but either way, his price is too low in a game with a 241 combined total, with Washington's lack of quality defensive bigs, and of course, most importantly, it is Karl-Anthony Towns' birthday. And another big who looks underpriced is Nikola Vucevic in a match versus San Antonio, in which there are 107.8 implied points for Orlando. Vucevic's price continues to drop even though his last 4 games had at least 45 fantasy points, while San Antonio's defense is not as good as it was in the past with a 108.8 defensive efficiency rating in a pace-up spot for Orlando. For our last corner, I would hit on some of the lower-owned dart throws, including Mike Conley in a matchup at Memphis, in which there are 110.8 implied points for Utah. The return to Memphis is a thing, but Conley is also cheap in a pace-up spot with a 22% assist rate and just under 37% shooting from the floor that's desperately due for positive regression. Another lower-owned guy I'm intrigued by is Jay Crowder in that matchup versus Utah, in which there are 103.8 implied points versus Memphis. We talked about Conley, so how about that Jay Crowder revenge on the other side? Crowder's also at a reasonable price, and he's also due for better shooting with 37% from the floor to start the year. And a cheaper center if you want to pay down there is Cody Zeller in a matchup versus Detroit, in which there are 108 implied points for Charlotte. Zeller played 34 minutes last game, and his size should be needed against Andre Drummond, with a tough rebounding matchup, but with Zeller's price dropping. So there you have it. That's what I'm seeing so far for today's 8-game slate. So right now, please hit that like button if you want to win that free month of Osmo Plus. Like the video and comment your top value pick according to Draftkings salaries down below. Yesterday, we had one guy in the comments who guessed the top value play correctly of Frank Jackson, and it's this guy right here, Anthony Triplett. So Anthony, email me at chris@osmo.com to collect your prize. For everybody else, if you want to win that free month of Osmo Plus, courtesy of Super Draft, like the video and comment your top value play down below. And of course, superdraft.io is the presenting sponsor of the Four Corners, so head over there right now. Go to superdraft.io. Use the promo code AWESEMO, AWESEMO, to get $20 free on any deposit of $100 or more. They also have a bunch of overlay in their tournaments right now, including their multiplier tournaments, where you don't even have to know salaries at all. So go to superdraft.io right now and get your $20 free with that promo code AWESEMO. And another promo code to check out is this one, Switch and Hedge at osmo.com/join. If you use that right now, you'll get half off your first month. You can also go to osmo.com/join and find packages as low as $3.95 a week. So head over there right now and choose a package that'll work for you. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. I tweeted more than usual last night because, well, who knows why, but go check me out on there. Check out my personal podcast tomorrow, which comes out Saturday mornings. So go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. I'll be back on Live Before Lock later today, closing out the week with my pal, the Chubster, Josh Engelman. Of course, I'll be back with you guys on Monday for another Four Corners. So thank you for watching. Have a good night and good weekend. I'll see you guys again soon. Good luck.